Hello everyone, welcome to episode 35 of Music is None of Our Business. See, I got the bloody number and then nearly forgot the name of the fucking podcast. That's a good start.
You do
this,
well.
This is non-alcoholic beer as well. I'm convinced myself at some point doing this I'm going to do a really huge belch as well.
Don't.
Beer gets me a bit windy.
If you do, I'm not going to edit it out.
No, I know. Well, you left the fucking me getting the bloody number wrong last week, you twat.
I took all the other guff out.
Yes, I know. I noticed that, but fucking hell. So we've just been talking about cats leaving us.
You?
Yeah, leaving me. Yeah, Claude has done a runner and gone off to someone who's obviously given a better class of cat food, the little shitbag. I've still left with Noodle, so Noodle will still be appearing in Instagram videos, but there will be no more Claude.
Well, maybe temporary. It may be temporary.
Well, she might come back, yeah, but it'll never be the same now. It'll never be the same. We'll just be looking at each other suspiciously, like I'll be like, "You're gonna fuck off again, aren't you? You're gonna fucking leave me again," and she'll be like, "Meow,"
maybe.
You know, and I'll go, "What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?" You know, she's like, "Oh, fuck off then." So,
which one?
Oh my god, I'm having an imaginary cat conversation now.
Yes.
That's how traumatized I am by it all.
I don't think it's the first time.
Lord. No, no, true. Not the first time a woman will leave me.
Or cat, I mean.
Or cat of any kind of female.
Oh dear.
Okay, so this week we are doing professions, occupations, jobs, whatever you need to do, however you want to describe them in song titles. I've got one particularly dodgy one that's on the.
You always have.
But I mean, as we always say, it's our fucking podcast.
Indeed.
We'll do what we want. So yeah. So do you want to start this week? I always kind of barge in and start.
It
And
makes no difference to me, but I'll start
everything.
by all means.
Okie dokes.
Okay, my first one on the list, profession, is a doctor. So we can see where this is going pretty much.
Is it the Thompson twins?
No.
Is it the Thompson twins?
No, God.
Doctor.
No, God.
Can you see I'm
burning?
I forgot the words. Burning. Can't you see I'm burning? I mean, you'd be better off with a fucking fireman, really, wouldn't you? Unless it's a nasty rash.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you got some cream?
It's a post-Vindaloo anal problem.
I always thought it was a bit more kind of along the thrush lines, or something like that. Some STD or something.
It could be. I don't know any more of the lyrics to that than we've just.
Perhaps they were burning. Just couldn't remember the number for the fire brigade. accidentally dialed 111. No, I don't think it's us you want, love. I'm burning. You can't fuck off.
This is great. So far, I've got through one word of my first. How am I? Oh, this is going to be a long one.
Sorry, carry on. Right.
Doctor Who. It's.
I was going to say Doctor Who.
No, it's here we are. It's Orbital. Doctor Who from Orbital's 2001 album, The Altogether, which is.
The actual Doctor Who theme? Or?
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know they covered that.
They've reworked it. It's fantastic.
Right,
so the first couple of minutes are reasonably straight down the line. But then... Right, okay.
Yeah,
and then in true Orbital fashion, you get all the drums, the electronic drums and everything come in, and it's glorious. It's a fantastic piece of music anyway, as almost anybody will know. But their rendition of it, their version of it, is particularly glorious as well. I wouldn't say it's better than the original, but it's different in a good way.
Okay.
So I know we have some international listeners. I'm sure everybody's heard of Doctor Who. It gets exported around the world.
Yeah.
Sci-fi kids show. But it was written, the theme tune.
Oh, kids show.
I know, I'll get letters for that, won't I?
You will. Yeah, you will get told off for that. You better edit that out.
Fucking
hell. You ageist wanker.
It's a bit ageist to say that a show is predominantly oriented around young adults, I think. Although I know a lot of adults enjoy... I'm just digging a hole, aren't I? I'll stop.
You are,
I'll
yeah,
stop.
I'd stop. Let's draw a line under that.
Not really my cup of tea. Not since Tom Baker.
Doctor Who, the all-ages show.
John Pertwee, Tom Baker, brilliant. After that, it all went downhill.
Yeah, some of the newer ones have been good.
I haven't watched any of them, to be honest, so I couldn't say.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, it's been quite... It's very watchable. In fact, the latest one was Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, I know about it.
She was the one before last. But yeah, so that was brilliant because that was everyone was complaining how woke it was.
Oh, right.
So it wound up the right, and it's like, yes, get in.
It's a black guy now, isn't
oh,
it?
it's so fucking woke. It's woke. It's a girl. She should be cooking my tea, not driving around in a fucking TARDIS. It's like, shut up, you fat incel twat.
Do you drive a TARDIS? I'm not really sure if driving it is what you do.
You piloting
It might be
a TARDIS.
Like it, yeah.
Piloting a TARDIS, yes. I'd drive the fucker. I'd have a steering wheel. I'd put a steering wheel
drive
in
it insane.
the handbrake and a clutch. Yes, probably would.
We're the only TARDIS in the universe with an 8-track tape player.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You're a fan of Doctor Who, then, are you?
I don't mind it. I really enjoyed the reboot with Christopher Eccleston, and then it was it David Tennant next?
Sylvester McCoy.
That was pre-reboot. That was a long while ago. David Tennant was okay, a bit manic. Matt Smith was very good.
Okay.
And then I think it was Peter Capaldi, and then Jodie Whittaker, the first female, and all that. They didn't like that. Right. The old incels. Oh dear.
You've crossed that bridge
didn't
already.
Like that. And then. The guy, I can't ever pronounce his name.
Is it a black guy now?
The guy who was he was in Sex Education.
I don't know that either.
And he was really good, but he's now left, and it's in a bit of a void at the moment because at the very end, Doctor Who turned into Billy Piper.
Oh right.
From who was the assistant back in the Eccleston Tennant days. So it's all a bit like, no one knows what's going, but it hasn't been. I've not heard any news about it just recently, so I don't really know. It
seems your trivia knowledge about Doctor Who is as stunningly good as music as well.
That's terrible, isn't it? Sorry. I'd forgotten I knew so much about it. Yeah, it was. I do enjoy Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I think it's it's sometimes it gets a bit. I mean, it's a fine line between appealing to the younger audience and the older audience. So every now and again, you kind of, it's easy to forget you're trying to appeal to both audiences. And sometimes you just think, oh, that's just fucking stupid. And you think, well, yeah, but you've got this cross-generational audience. You have got to, like I say, you've got to appeal to it. So you have to kind of forgive it for the more childish.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. I'm not about to start watching it again. It was not my cup of tea, but so be it.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Do you know who wrote the music, the original?
It was the Radiophonic.
No, it wasn't. I knew you'd say that.
It was Delia Derbyshire had something to do with it, but it was another guy, wasn't it, who actually wrote it?
It was an Australian who didn't have anything to do with the Radiophonic Workshop.
What was it? What was his name?
Ron Grainer.
Ron Grainer. That's it, yes.
So he wrote it. He also wrote the theme tune. What's the theme tune? He wrote the theme tune for Tales of the Unexpected and Steptoe and Son.
I'm going to. That's going to turn into New York, New York. As soon as I started humming it, I thought, no, I'm fucking going off on the wrong direction already. I do remember the theme tune to Steptoe and Son, and I remember. I can't hum. I think Tales Unexpected is unhummable.
Was that, wasn't it?
That was shit. But yes, it was the wibbly wobbly dancing.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to render with just the voice, but that was the one.
It is very much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was a brilliant cover of the Steptoe theme tune by Albert and Harold. On the very fine double album, Oral Waffle Offal, 10 pints of bitter and a bag of pork scratchings double LP by VVM. And the Albert and Harold did Old Ned Rag Ya bone, which was good. Anyway,
Yes.
written by Ron Grainer, the Australian, and then famously picked up by Delia Derbyshire, who was a musician and composer at the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and she brought it to life in 1963. Although, as I say, I don't watch Doctor Who, I understand it's been refreshed several times through the course of the show.
It has, yes. And I think it's always by the Radiophonic or by BBC music departments, I think. I know KLF did a copy, did a cover.
Yeah, they did.
Doctor in the TARDIS. Doctor Who. Hey, Doctor
That's
Who.
a great one, yes.
That's very good. I know there have been some other cover versions.
Pink Floyd dropped a bit of it in the middle of on Metal LP. One of these days. He dropped it, and Matt Berry.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, he did an album of TV things.
He did.
Yes.
With 8 seconds of London weekend television ident on it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Are You Being Served?
Yeah.
And the Liver Birds. He's an odd man, Matt Berry. I mean, we'll maybe come across him at some point in the future, but I got some of his records. And he's this really funny guy in this whole raft of funny shows, deadpan, dry humour, and then he's doing this music mostly through Acid Jazz, the label. Some of it which is electronic soundscapes, and some of it which is jazz and pop all over the place.
It's a really good. One of them was an ambient album, wasn't it, for sleeping too? That was
I've
really
got that
good.
music for insomnia. Yeah.
Yes, I had them all and I've sold them. I know I wasn't playing them. They were just taking up space, so I flogged the whole fucking lot.
Anyway, when Grainer heard Delia Derbyshire, it's the heat. It's the heat. We're recording this on the hottest May ever, so it's the heat.
Yes.
When Grainer heard Derbyshire's version of this music, he famously asked, "Did I write this?" To which Derbyshire replied, "Well, yes, most of it." And he actually wanted to co-credit Derbyshire with being the writer of the music, but the BBC wouldn't allow it for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Not entirely sure why, but anyway.
Well, I would guess BBC 60s. She's a woman.
Maybe. I think it applied to all of the people in the workshop.
Yeah, well, possibly, yeah.
Anyway, Orbital's version is brilliant. It starts off with a couple of minutes of that dark, churning, roiling synth noise before it then bursts into a whole new life as an electro dance track. Drum machines come in and it seems to take off, but the essence of the original is still there. The menace is still there. The growl is still there. And it works really, really well. Much better than I would have imagined, really. This great reinterpretation of it by the Hartnell brothers, Paul and Phil.
I'll have to give it a listen. Actually, I must have heard it. I've probably just completely forgotten about it.
It's on the album 2001, The All Together, which is a great album. I remember about 25 years ago, taking the kids driving around Cornwall, and it was on all the time. It was brilliant.
Oh, right.
Summery music.
Awesome.
Sunshine in your ears.
Yes, I like it. It's sunshine in my ears.
On the same album, they sampled Crass, bizarrely.
Oh, interesting.
A track called Oi.
Oh, right. Oh, that's a bit Crass burnt Oi, though, weren't they? What? That's like having a female Doctor Who. Having a track called Oi and putting Crass on it. Fucking hell. Oi, you stick on the Cockney Rejects, don't you?
You'd think so.
You'd think so. Tossers.
So there you go. That's my first one. After a long detour into the world of Doctor Who and all kinds of other stuff.
Yes.
That was it.
Well, you were asking for that, really, weren't you? I mean, come on.
Let's hear you.
Bloody
What's
hell.
your first profession?
My first profession is clown.
Oh, gosh.
And the song is Death of a Clown by Dave Davis.
Okay.
From way back in 1967,
Ooh.
which apparently I was a big fan of when I was a teeny tiny child as well, which
right.
my mum told me at some point. Weirdly, this is the song that made me think of professions as a subject, because I just popped into my head the other day, and it's one of those songs that it just sticks in your head because it just sounds so sad. It's such a melancholy song. And it's not about. I mean, it's basically Dave Davis of the Kinks, of the band The Kinks, brother of Ray Davis, leader of the Kinks, wrote it about his life in a pop band in the 60s. And basically, he said he nodded off at a party one night, woke up, saw all these decadent people, and thought, "Oh my God, what are we doing? You know, I'm like a performing seal." And that's where Death of a Clown came. And as he put it, I went back to my mum's house with the same old out of tune piano, and I plunked out 3 notes, and it turned into the song.
Oh, right.
And it's a wonderful song. I mean, fundamentally, it is the Kinks doing it. I think Ray Davies was played on it as well. There was a guy called Nicky Hopkins who played piano on it, and he was like one of those really famous session musicians. In fact, there was a film, a documentary made about him not long ago. And it's well worth a watch because he played on fucking everything. You know, he was one of these sessions. It's a bit like Jimmy Page when he was, you know, before he joined
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, yeah. They had, you know, you had this coterie of session players, and they'd go around and they'd play on everything. They were so good, and they could turn their hands to everything. You know, I mean, you know, and Nicky Hopkins was the go-to keyboard player. I mean, around this time, I would imagine this is still when Jimmy Page was still the go-to guitarist. And there was a drummer as well whose name escapes me. And they just, you know, oh, we need a piano. Oh yeah, get Nicky Hopkins in. So he come down and he go, let's have a listen to the song, and they go, at the death of a clown. He go, right, okay. There you go. I'm off for a fag. You know, and that was it. It was and it was done. And there were so many Kinks playing on it that it actually did appear on the next Kinks album as a Kinks song.
Okay.
But it's just a really, really great song. I mean, from the point of being a clown, so it's all about the makeups, you know, drowning massages and whiskey and gin, and then it's like, let's all drink to the death of a clown. But it's just such a sad song.
Poignant.
Always stuck with me, yeah. And I think that was the beauty of the Kinks. The Kinks did some fabulous songs. I mean, you can't kind of talk about the Kinks without talking about Waterloo Sunset either, which again is a really, really sad song. But in a way, I mean, all they're talking about is you know, that part of London and, you know, and what that means to them. But they just got that gift to turn anything into melancholy. And I don't think it ever got. I think it was. I mean, it was a big hit in, you know, 1967 when it was released. I don't think it's ever been re-released or anything. So I'm not really sure where. I mean, I've heard it somewhere since, because I wouldn't have remembered it from when I was 2. So at some point in the 70s, I must have reheard it and thought, oh, that's brilliant. And it's just one of those
I don't know it.
songs. Yeah. Really? You don't know?
I don't think I do know.
Well, it's weird because it's one of those songs where I just assume that everyone knows it. I just assume that because it was in the charts, you know, and it was the Kinks or Kinks related, people will go, oh, yeah, I remember that.
It might be one of those that I'd know when I hear it, but from the title, it doesn't ring any bells.
I think the actual chorus is, you know, let's all drink to the death of a clown. And that is the refrain.
I don't know it.
And you're fucking useless, you are. If it was 20 minutes long and contained a sink falling down the stairs solo, you'd fucking know it, wouldn't you?
Can't help that.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the Kinks. I mean, I think they had Dave Davis and Ray Davis were always fighting, I think, if I remember rightly.
Even on stage, I think.
Yeah, on stage, they got into scraps on stage. Great bands. I mean, there's a lot of Kink stuff. I'm a bit like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. But there's some cracking songs. You know, there was. I mean, they did Lola.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's that one about the village fete or something, isn't there? What's that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
something village society or something.
Society, Preservation Society or something. Yeah. And then, so now all I'm thinking of is the bloody song the Michael Caine film. We are the self-preservation, but it's not. It's the Kinks present the. Was it the Kinks present the Village Green
Preservation Society or something like
that? Something like that, yeah. And also Days. Thank you for the Days. Yeah. That was a Kinks song. David Watts. And they're famously covered. I mean, Days is more well known for our generation, probably by Kirsty MacColl, and then David Watts by the Jam. So great band. Great old British band from the 60s. Dave, I think they're both still alive as well. I know so. Ray Davies is still alive. Yeah, pretty sure. I think he's still gigging.
Not so sure about that, but certainly I think they're still alive.
Yeah. I remember I read an interview with someone the other day, said they bumped into him in the pub and got chatting to him for fucking, and he was very forthcoming on all loads of stuff about the Kinks. Yeah. So that's my first one. I'll keep it mercifully short, since I made your Doctor Who one last about an hour and a half. So.
I didn't get to speak about Orbital at all, really. Maybe another time.
Yes.
Second one, then we're talking about Soldiers now, and this is the opening track from Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark's excellent debut from 1980, Bunker Soldiers, which bizarrely, Bunker Soldiers is a novel by Martin Day based on Doctor Who. So I get 2 ticks for that one.
Oh, go! You're getting worse than me for these double.
Totally accidentally.
Double connections.
Accidentally unexpected. I've never read that book. I'm probably never likely to. But again, strange tie back to the Doctor. So you've got Bunker Soldiers here, as I say. So the first album that Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark did, it had lots of slits cut in the sleeve. I don't know if you remember. But it actually printed out, which I thought was quite brave for a debut album. But I had that and I got rid of it. But I've since reacquired it. It was a fucking brilliant album with electricity, messages, red frame, white light.
Sorry, that song is always going on somewhere in my head. I think the electricity.
Something always going on.
Great
song. It's a great song. Yeah.
Great song. Yeah.
There's one track on that album I don't like, Dancing, I think it is, which is sounds like they're all drunk. It's not very nice at all, but it's a great album apart from that.
What's it called, the album?
It's just called OMD.
Is it? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember.
It was an eponymous album. Another one crops up. Could have had that one, eh?
There you go.
So this track, it's really synth pop, like the whole thing was, and the lyrics depict trench warfare, really trained bodies and coordination. Is that a better way for bunker soldiers? But it's a nicer way to spend the war. And it talks about being in ditches up to their knees in mud and sandbags and all that kind of stuff. The chorus is split between the two guys who form the duo of OMD, Paul Humphreys and Andy McCluskey. And what you've got here is one of them, don't know which one, is in one speaker calling out letters in mixed up form from the title Bunker Soldiers, and simultaneously from the other speaker you got the other chap who is calling out random numbers, which is quite an unusual effect. It's not displeasing, but it's quite unusual, to say the least. Have you tried entering those numbers into the National Lottery? Every week since 1980. Who knows? No, I haven't. No, but it's a bit odd, but it's a great record, on a great record. So to just say a few words about OMD, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, for anybody that isn't acquainted with them. As I just mentioned, they are the duo of Humphreys and McCluskey, and they came together in the late 70s, formed the band, and they're from Merseyside, and they had some fantastic pop, synth, electronic hit singles, really great tunes, and some fantastic albums as well. But truly a great singles band. They were, yeah. When you think about it, Enola Gay, Souvenir, Joan of Arc, Tesla Girls. They're fantastic bands. I love Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. In fact, I couldn't picture the album cover. I just looked it up, and I'm like, I remember. It was all actually cut out, which I thought was brave for a debut album. But I don't think I've got that LP. What? Weirdly, I know. I thought I had it, but I know I've got the second, the Organisation and Architecture and Morality.
I never really liked Dazzle Ships, and after that I didn't really listen to much until they did one the other year that I'm just looking to see what it's called because I can't bloody remember. Bauhaus Staircase 2023 that came out. I quite enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty good. And they did an RSD with Record Store Day one, 2026, called Archive Volume 1.
Oh, right. Well, they are still touring. They've been at Nottingham a few times and doing stuff. Interesting, if you go to their website, they have, again, some interesting things you can buy. No smelly things, but you can buy an Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark pint glass. You can also get a children's book called Once I Saw a Band Called Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. And there are various OMD jigsaw puzzles as well. So it's a little bit strange.
Very interesting. I always remember years ago there was when Radio 1 was, when we were younger, we didn't have much control over what was on the radio. Radio 1, one of the shit DJs during the day used to have this feature where people would ring in and they would tell a story, and it was I can't remember what it was, but I remember that they I think it might have been a quiz actually, and you had to guess the band, and it was something along the lines of a conductor for a conductor who conducts at the Royal Albert Hall was cleaning the carpet with all the lights off.
Yes, here we go.
And people had to guess from that clue what the answer was Orchestral Man hoovers in the dark. And fuck me, that has lived in my fucking head since like 1979, 1980 or something. I cannot get it out. Oh, there was another one. There was another one that was something about, I can't remember, something about big horned animals. And this big horned animal was in love with another animal. And it was Hot Elk Alley Fournier. His name was Ali, so it was Hotel California.
Oh, God.
That was a shit one, but still stuck in my fucking head. It was such a crap bloody thing. Dear. I don't know why I remember them. But yeah.
Well, anyway, so O&D, talking about long tracks, they probably beat everybody because they are currently working on something called the Grand Ballet with NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, amongst other people, and they are aiming to translate the infinitely long evolving movement of sound that comes from the telemetry signals from the Cassini spacecraft, which orbited around Saturn 293 times. And they say it'll never repeat.
I hope they're not going to use that as the fucking album title. I don't think there's so many copies. They'll have to triple gatefold just to get the fucking title.
I don't think it will commit to any kind of recorded media, so it's just an installation that they're working on at the moment.
Right.
But they like a bit of long form music as well, and they're right out there with the extremes. A good band, great singles list, great first album.
Fabulous collection of jumpers. Which I remember they used to wear on
top of the pops.
Oh, and all okay, it should have turned yesterday. Great song. There has been, they've kind of had a lot more recognition. I mean, I remember reading a review of Dazzle Ships that said, it was, panned when it came out. You really should listen to it again because it's quite fantastic. It is aged very well. And I think I did listen to it and I did quite enjoy it because that was 83. That was released, and if you look at the track listing, there's nothing on there that I remember. So it kind of came and I think it came and went, and after Architecture and Morality, I think it was 2 years between that and the next LP, so that didn't really help. But yeah, great singles band as well. I mean, Joan of Arc and Souvenir. Sealand is a brilliant.
It's odd that they chose
well.
Joan of Arc to be the subject of 2 of their hit singles because it's Maid of Orleans as well.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, yeah. Joan of Arc.
Frantics used to cover that.
She burnt some tarts. Right, okay. Let me find
Your
the
number
page.
2.
Yes, my number 2. Now you're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. This is a total bit of fluff from our childhoods.
Oh.
And it's, weirdly, I was searching for it earlier, and for like or what is it, 40, 50, almost 50 years, I've been getting the title wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is called, you're going to hate me for this, but it's got a really good story to it as well. It's called I Lost My Heart to a Starship Trooper.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you remember that?
Of course I do,
Yeah, and I just, it's one of those songs, like nearly every song that's ever been released, that's just stuck in my head and has been for years. And it was, I mean, basically, to start with, you have to go back to the 70s and Top of the Pops. And Top of the Pops, if they couldn't get a particular artist on to perform the song, they'd have Pan's People.
Or Legs and Co.
Or Legs and Co. later.
Yeah.
And after that, something Ruby Flipper.
Ruby Flipper.
Yeah. So anyway, these were the girls, and they used to do dreadful, or what we then thought were dreadful dances. I mean, they were all, properly choreographed and everything, but you go, oh, fucking hell, no, not them again. And they famously did one to Bank Robber by The Clash.
Oh, right,
and they were all wearing stripy kit and stuck behind bars and that. It was all very 70s. It was all very sexist.
They didn't know what was going to be on or off Top of the Pops until only like hours before. So they had to choreograph it and set it all up.
Absolutely,
just almost no time.
So ITV, our independent TV station for those non-UK listeners, had nothing like that, but. In the late 70s, a radio DJ called Kenny Everett, who was known because he was wacky, he was crazy. Oh, he was so funny. He had a TV series that started on like I said, on independent television, and they had their own dance group who were called Hot Gossip. And Hot Gossip were they were boys and girls. But the girls, there were lots of very skimpy outfits, lots of suspenders and stockings. It was all very kind
risque.
of risque for the time. But they had one of the performers was called Sarah Brightman, who went on to become I think Andrew Lloyd Webber's wife. And appear on stage. I believe she was a trained soprano singer. Yeah. So they released a song called I Lost My Heart to a Starship Trooper. Because at that time there was a kind of a movement of they called space disco. And there was another song, although space disco, the whole genre appears to comprise of two fucking songs, this being one of them, which is called I Lost My Heart to a Starship Trooper, and until this afternoon I thought it was called I Fell in Love with a Starship Trooper, and the other one was called Automatic Lover.
Oh right,
I am your automatic lover, and had a chorus that went something along the lines of see me, hear me, feel me, love me, touch me, and that was by a woman called Dee Dee Jackson. Dee Dee, no relation to you, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Well, because her real name was Deirdre Elaine Cozier, and they changed it to Dee Dee Jackson because no one could pronounce her surname, which I just did first fucking time. So that's a load of old shit.
But you're just assuming you pronounced it correctly because it might be Cozier or something.
Look, I'm always right though, so we all know that. So, and another thing about Automatic Lover is that it was a big hit in Brazil. They couldn't get Dee Dee Jackson to go over there, so they just hired a Dee Dee Jackson impersonate her on Brazilian TV pop shows.
Good Lord.
And even though she wrote part of the Automatic Lover course, never got credited, never got any money. But anyway, I digress.
As always.
So, I Lost My Heart to a Starship Trooper. If we go back to a previous episode of people who used to write loads and loads of hit songs, this was written by a duo called Jeff Calvert and Max West. And they, see how good your childhood memory is for this. They were in a band called Typically Tropical. And they did a song called...
No, I don't know.
Fuck me. I'm let down. I'm disgusted. I'll give you a clue. No, I won't. I'm just going to sing the whole fucking thing to you. Well, We're going to Barbados.
Oh God! Did they? Oh, right.
And the sunny Caribbean Sea. So that was their big
that was
hit.
them, was it?
Yes. So this was, as I say, Space Disco, which to me comprised of 2 songs. Performed it live on the Kenny Everett video show, and it went on to become a massive hit. Also Arlene, who was the woman who there was a Arlene Phillips. Arlene Phillips was the choreographer, who then went on to do Strictly Come Dancing.
Oh right, goodness me!
It's a great story, because in that 70s pop thing, there are so many trivia points to be had from it. They've got there's references in the song to Darth Vader and droids. There's a reference to Flash Gordon. There's a tiny bit of the Close Encounters. One of the lines goes, "What my body needs is Close Encounter 3." I don't know what Close Encounter 3 is. I probably never got that far. I don't really know. It's something to do
boggles.
with doop, 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 doop. Or something like those lines. But and it's just one of those tacky 70s singles that just sticks in your head. And we're both big fans of old tat, aren't we? Really, I mean, music wise, we I think as we've said before, the whole nostalgia thing comes into play with those songs from the 70s. That in the 70s you thought, oh my God, not this fucking song again. And now when you hear it, you go, oh, I remember that was brilliant. It was so good. And this was, 1978, we'd have been 13. This was just after I'd discovered punk. But again, as we've stated before, it was all over the fucking place. All over the radio, all over the TV. You couldn't get away from it, and it just embedded itself in your head.
It's one of those that used to be playing at the fairs, on the waltzes and stuff. Yeah,
I lost my heart to a Starship Trooper. Great stuff.
Just like Sarah Brightman.
Thanks. I'm trying to remember if I could remember any of the songs from the musical. I'd try and do a bit of soprano or something. But in this heat, my shorts are getting that bloody tight. I probably could manage a soprano as well. But so that's number 2. I lost my heart to a Starship Trooper.
Wow.
And not I fell in love with a Starship Trooper. I lost my heart to a Starship Trooper. Beat that, Jackson.
That was an unexpected one indeed, I've got to say.
Okay. I thought it was a fun one, to be honest.
Yeah,
I just thought it was
one, because I don't think Starship Troopers genuinely a profession. It's more a fiction of your imagination.
This is the thing. I mean, because I could have had the other Automatic Lover. That's got to be a profession for somebody.
I don't know. It would be automatic even for a prostitute.
But it is a Starship Trooper. Weirdly, in 97, I think, they re-recorded the song for use in this film, Starship Troopers. And it's like, how the fuck would that fit in with the ultra gore kind of, fascist overtones of Starship Troopers? I mean, you couldn't even have it as the outro music. So I've no idea why they would have done that. But unless they kind of did it to like a lie backing track or something. Something along those lines, lots of marching feet.
Yeah.
But
goodness knows. Oh, right.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Fine enough. Next one on my list then is a band who, like J.G. Thirlwell, who we've talked about before, has a band with an ever-changing name. But there's always one word that distinguishes this band from a whole raft of other people it could be. And that distinguishing word is the nickname of the singer.
I fucking know it. I knew it. I'd picked this one as well.
Did you?
It's fucking Soldier, isn't it?
It is Soldier.
Wanker.
Soldier, yes.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Spears of Spiz Energy, Atletico Spiz 80, Spiz 77, Spiz Oil, what else was Spizzles? There's loads of them, yeah, which sometimes relate to changes of lineup, but they kind of got into the habit of just changing the name, and there have been lots and lots of changes of lineup, and I think I'm pretty sure that Ken Spears is the last remaining of the original lineup of the band, who are interesting. I think that they may be even headlining. They're certainly playing at Rebellion in August again.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew they were still going.
Still going strong, yeah. So this record, 1979, released through Rough Trade, and as you quite rightly point out, Soldier Soldier, by the band who at that time were known as Spiz Energy. And I think more by virtue of the timing than anything else, they got lumped in with the whole burgeoning punk movement, because they weren't really punk in the sense that they were hugely aggressive or they were ideologically driven.
Probably more new wave post-punk, I would. Probably new wave. I would, if I had to lump them in, I would say new wave. Because of that, there's a new wave always had a bit of a herky-jerkiness to it. Do you know what I mean? I know that's I can't think of a better way to put it.
Herky-jerkiness.
And the way he's like, soldier, soldier, what's your price, soldier, soldier, to be very nice.
He's got a distinctive voice. Yeah.
But those lyrics, I was gonna say the lyrics. What the fuck are they about? I mean,
I'll give you 10 pence to come and sit on the fence. Yeah,
soldier, soldier, go and jump onto the fence. What?
Yeah, it is an odd one, and I shouldn't really like it anyway, because it's the kind of music that, the drums are really tinny and hollow. The guitar's really scratchy and has no body to it. It's all high mids.
New wave.
And there's got these thin blurts of keyboard, and over the top, Spears' voice, which is quite, it's not falsetto, but it's quite high, and the whole song.
It's a bit whiny, isn't it?
It is.
It's a bit
whiny.
The
whole song's lacking in any real boom.
I'm sure he's never going to listen to this, so I don't feel bad to that. Yeah, but it does lack,
because it's still a brilliant song. Because they were great.
It's fantastic.
They were great at tunes, and it really, really worked. It's really kind of spiky and sing alongable when you're drunk, and that it's a good piece of music. One of the things that they do on this song is the bass counterpoints with the kick drum. So it's going dumba, 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 which was famously picked up by Kylie for "I Can't Get You Out of My Head." So I'm not sure if she copied Spears or it's just another.
Do you think Spears gets royalties for it?
I don't think so. But like I say, the lyrics are really simple, and they don't make an awful lot of sense until he makes an accusation that the soldier is a fascist, and then he gets beaten up. So perhaps there's something to that. So it's a great song. I mean, there's a live version on the B-side of a 2014 single called City of Eyes. And the single itself is from the 1981 album Spiky Dream Flowers. Now, I never had Spiky Dream Flowers, the album that is, as opposed to having Spiky Dream Flowers, whatever they may be. But they've uploaded it to Bandcamp.
Kind of pudding or something.
Yeah, they uploaded the album for the first time to Bandcamp last year, and the version of Soldier Soldier on there is not the same as the single. It's got quite a bit more guitar on it, and it has got some more substance. It does sound like they've recut the whole thing. They've replayed it and recut the whole thing, which is no bad thing. I'm still not 100% sure whether I prefer the original or the more fuller version, because you kind of I don't think
I've heard the fuller one. I've still got the 70s. It's one of the few records that have made it all the way through without being sold.
Well, they made some great records. The best album by a long way is as Atletico's Spiz 80. Do a Runner remains one of my top albums. It's a fantastic album. The track on there is what's it called, Airships, which is quite long. It's 6 or 7 minute instrumental, but apart from him just saying airships intermittently, it's a fucking great song, absolutely glorious song. And then it's got on there a really short song, Clocks Are Big, Machines Are Heavy, which he just sings that through about 4 times. Clocks are big, machines are heavy. Dun, 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 dun. Clocks are big, machines are heavy. That's about it, really.
God, that sounded like Devo. the way you just sang that, dun, 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 that's very Devo-esque.
It does actually. It's very Devo-esque. Quite right. I think it's a little bit noisier than Devo would have perhaps done it, but it is a Devo kind of structure and style to it. Yeah.
I haven't listened to that album in probably since the week it came out, in all honesty. I don't think I ever owned it. You probably taped it for me. No, Neil may well have had it.
Yeah,
I remember someone taped it. And
which one? Which album? Do a Runner?
Do a Runner.
Oh no, I've still got that. Yeah.
I like Spiz. Yeah. In fact, I had a few years ago. We went on holiday to the New Forest, and we walked along this long path to the side of the sea, and then there was this like pier thing. I can't remember, but I was standing there all on my own. The girls were off doing something, and Karen was off doing something with them, I think. I was just standing there, and I had my Soldier T-shirt on.
Oh, right.
And a bloke came up and said, Spiz Energy, fucking great band. And I'm like, and we had we would chat a chat about Spiz Energy but arse end of nowhere, and I somehow bump into a Spiz fan.
T-shirts that bring people together.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, it was a number one single in the NME, and I kind of thought, how I miss those was it Wednesdays when the Melody Maker would come out and NME and stuff. They were great papers, great magazines, great reads.
Where's Captain Kirk was the first ever number one single in the indie chart.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Even more trivia, more entertaining than the Sarah Brightman trivia as well, probably. And I have to find another fifth song now, you twat.
Oh, but that was actually on your list, was it?
That was on my list. Yeah, that was on my list.
Oh, right.
Yes.
It's been a long time since we've had a crossover on something.
Yeah. In fact, my next one, I thought maybe a crossover.
It could still be.
It could be still. Could still.
I don't think it will
probably. Do you know what? This bloody beer is non-alcoholic, and I'm losing the ability to speak properly.
I think it is the heat.
Yes, I think it is. It is still really bloody hot here. Sorry, have you finished with? Did you finish?
I think so. Yeah, yes. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, my number 3 is Steelworker.
Go on.
By Big Black.
Oh, where's that from?
That is from Lungs. The very first. That's the very first record.
Right. Okay.
Steelworker. And I just assumed you bloody know that. It's in fact it's track 1 on the Lungs EP.
I don't know.
And I just thought, and I know we've covered Big Black before.
Yeah.
Because Big Black is our hero, Steve Albini's band. And this was released back in 1982, the very first EP they ever did. And I believe it was just Albini at this time, playing guitar, bass, and the original Big Black drum machine. And I picked it because it was just because it fit in Steelworker, obviously his profession, and it's just really interesting because Lungs, I think, because we know Big Black as the industrial juggernaut of Atomizer and songs about fucking and things like that, and I remember, I think Atomizer was would probably been the first Big Black record I bought, probably the first one we both bought.
First one I bought, read that was a review in Melody Maker or something that prompted me to buy it.
I think I was working because I was thinking of I was doing some Instagram reels the other day, and I haven't done it yet, but I wanted to do Squirrelbait, the band, the second Squirrelbait EP. Simply because it's just fantastic, and I was thinking about how the fuck did someone living in Cambridge at that time discover a very obscure band from I think they were from Kentucky, weren't they? Squirrelbait. How does that work? And I kind of thought back, and I was like, right, I know in this instance, because I can kind of follow it back to buying probably my first Sonic Youth record, which was Death Valley 69, because I saw the video on some late night TV show, probably Channel 4, I would imagine, because I think they're the only people who would show something like that. And it was an edited version from the one I've since seen. The video was made by Richard Kern. And then, obviously, I bought that. I bought Bad Moon Rising, the LP, both of which were on Blast First Records.
Uh-huh.
So Blast First Records obviously started links to Big Black, because Atomizer was released in England on Blast First. And I was thinking how influential Blast First Records were to us lovers of noisy guitar music back in the day, because you also had Dinosaur Jr., you had Butthole Surfers, you had people like Ut, you had Head of David, you had Big Stick on Blast First at some point.
Yes, at some point, yes.
Yeah. So we were because you then go, oh, that's on Blast First, I'll give that a bash.
Yeah.
And then so Blast First, Sonic Youth to Blast First to Big Black. Big Black, I was a Big Black completist. There was a compilation LP called Wailing Ultimate on Homestead, which was Big Black's label in America. I bought that because it had Il Duce on, which I couldn't get hold of at that time, although subsequently did on 7-inch. And on that compilation LP was Squirrelbait and a song called Sun King from their first EP, which was fucking pig to get hold of. You could not get hold of that bastard anywhere. Me and my friend Terry ended up somehow buying, I can't remember whether we did it between us, but he managed to get hold of the Skag Heaven CD, which had Skag Heaven and the first Squirrelbait EP on, taped it for me, so I had a tape, he kept the CD, and I got the tape at some point in the future.
And the band lost their royalties.
Did they? Oh yes, sorry, I see what you mean. Yeah, because of me. They lost like 10p or something. So it was, but this was, this was how we found out about music back in the day, before Spotify and all that. So anyway, going back to Steelworker, from getting as we said, the first Big Black record we bought was Atomizer. So then they released Sound of Impact, which was the first 2 EPs on one LP. Bought that and went, what the fuck? Because it was so spindly.
Yes, indeed.
It was Big Black, but it wasn't like Big Black. It was like oomph. Ching 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 Big Black, And I was like, what the fuck? Where's the industrial sized pile driving music?
Yeah.
It had Albini's, kind of iffy lyrics on it. There were a couple of lines on there that I'm not going to repeat. But then it's kind of, it's basically, he's looking out for the point of a steel worker, and he's saying, I can rip you limb from limb, and I'm a steel worker, I kill what I eat, And then, and for years, I kind of listened to it occasionally, but, it wasn't heavy enough.
No.
I listened to it last night. I thought, this is fucking great, because I'm looking at it from a different perspective now, and looking at it as a progression rather than, because there was like, you had Lungs, then you had the next EP, which was the next one? Bulldozer. So Bulldozer was a little bit heavier, but then Racer X was when the Big Black sound starts.
Yeah.
And that was and by that time they had Dave Riley was on board on bass, and Santiago Durango was playing the other guitar. Mm-hmm. And then you didn't just have the ching, you had the chung as well to the guitars, as they used to describe them. Yeah. Sking, the sking guitar. And you had that behemoth that became Big Black. And Still Working Out is like, it's brilliant. You know, it's a fucking fantastic song. Well, those first two, they're really good. As I say, as a kind of an antipasti to the main course of Big Black.
They were a good band too.
Yeah, they were a very good band. Yeah, yeah, it was. So you know, they obviously. By the time they did, I think the other thing that changed was by the time they did Racer X, they had Roland, the drum machine, rather than the tinny original one. So Roland gave them some fucking oomph as well at the back. Yeah. And Dave Riley's bass was fucking, you know, earth shaking.
It just filled the hole. It filled a hole in the whole spectrum of the sound.
Absolutely, yeah. And then obviously went on because also I could have included the Model.
Oh yeah,
their cover of the Model, because that's a fantastic. Because I love you play those back to back with the Kraftwerk version, and they're almost identical, and they've both got a real sense of. But the Big Black one has got that guitar, and it's fucking vicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it complements the Kraftwerk one perfectly. They work so well together, because you can. It's kind of that coldness. I think they've captured the essence of the original Kraftwerk recording, but in guitar form, which is a really fucking difficult thing to do, because it was so, you know, it was totally synthesized, the original, and yet with guitars, a drum machine, and, you know, probably banks and banks of amplifiers, they've captured that iciness and that kind of machine-like quality of Kraftwerk perfectly with guitars, which is absolutely insane that somebody could do that, I think, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna have to write all that down and put that on a fucking reel. You know, I mean, that's because that would also come under cover versions, but
it could be done.
So
well, we may do another one of those in the future, because
I think another cover versions one is well overdue.
Okay, marvelous. Okay, what are you doing?
Yes, I was giving you the thumbs up because
okay.
I finished, and I was taking a big mouthful of. So if I'd have said yes, I'm finised, I'd have spat beer all over my laptop. And I don't think that would have been really good. It would have been great if we were videoing the fucking thing. But yes, Dave. Yeah, chapter 22, Dave spits beer.
Okay, my next one on the list, number 4, is a track called Bosco's Disposable Driver. And it's by a band which will make you, the name of whom will make you giggle, I think, because the band are called Flanger. I know you like the word flange,
yes,
but it's
that's
flanger.
Because we're very juvenile between us. That is it someone who pilots a car, or is it a golf club though?
There's no telling. This is an instrumental, so I've taken it as somebody who drives a car, a professional driver.
Yeah.
1997.
Dubious.
It's no more dubious than Starship fucking Troopers.
Fair play.
So. Bosco's Disposable Driver, it's 1997 track. It's brilliant track from an album called Nuclear Jazz, and it's nuclear with a K. Now, it's called jazz, but it's not really heavily jazzy. It's got a kind of jazz feeling. Maybe it's not jazz.
Look, make your fucking mind up. Is it jazz or isn't it jazz?
It's got a jazzy feel, but it's experimental kind of electronics with a glitchy electronic beats and a kind of jazzy feel to it. The electronic drums, the electronic percussion are really spiky and jagged, and it's quite cold music, really. But that's balanced with a really nice, very simple, very soft tune, a melody on a keyboard. It's been adorned throughout with lots of artificial surface noise and vinyl crackles and pops. But all the while, you've got this really nice, very simple little tune over it. It breaks down in the middle to just the crackling, really, and then it all comes back again out of the space. It's this really deft blend of spiky, sharp percussion and really cool, soft melody. It's like crunchy peanut butter. The album it's from, Nuclear Jazz, It's patchy, I think. Some of it is leaning more towards the glitchy stuff, which is okay, and some of it's leaning more towards the softy, more contemplative stuff, which is okay. But I think what they did best was when they put it together, and this track's the best track on the album. It certainly is the one that works. So there are two previous albums, Templates and Midnight Sound, both on Entone, which is a subsidiary of Ninja Tune.
All right.
So, yeah, it's okay. They're a German duo, by the way. They're set up in 1996, and their stated ambition is to create non-repetitive, organic, and extremely complex music. I'm not 100% certain that they've achieved that, because some of it's repetitive, and some of it's not very complex to listen to. But that's their ambition. And sadly, I think in that ambition, it would have been good if they had, and also to be quite good to listen to as part of their ambition too, because, they're not great. They're a German duo, but for some reason they would do all their recording in Chile. I don't know why, no explanation. There's not much to say about them, really, because there's not much out there. They don't appear to have anything on the website that I haven't said there. But this track, it's one of those that I've liked for a long, long time, many, many years. And it's one of those where I think it should be heard, but it's unlikely there would be any episode of our podcast where I'd get Flanger in again. So there it is. It's in there for twin reasons, really.
And likelihood of them being on Spotify? Should I describe that face you just put?
I don't know if you could describe
it was a bit like looking at the outside of a pint glass while a snail crawls up the inside of it.
The Les Dawson face.
Or something out of Steptoe's Son.
Yes.
Harold.
Yeah, so that's
New York.
Should do a mashup of that.
It's the same fucking tune, I swear.
It is similar. Yeah, it is similar. So there you go.
Okay. Right, my number 4. I'm going to whip through this because I've run out of non-alcoholic beer and I've just got an alcoholic beer. No. So that's that'll be the beginning, the end for this particular fucking episode. So I'll try not to guzzle it too quickly and get myself shit faced or anything. But yes. So my number 4 is a good old-fashioned job, and it's Fisherman. And the song is Fisherman by the Congos.
Oh, right.
First appeared on the LP Heart of the Congos, produced by Lee Scratch Perry at the Black Ark Studios back in 1977. And I've had copies of this for quite some time now. I discovered it through Blood and Fire, which was a really, really good reggae reissue label from the early 90s, I think. And I bought so many of their CDs, then sold them all.
Did you listen to any of them before you sold them?
I did. I listened to them all, but then I started, and this was kind of when I'd got so many of the classic reggae albums on vinyl that I didn't really need the CDs anymore, and then sold them, and then kind of thought, they were really bloody good. I've got them all on digital copies, so there's no loss there. But there's several reissues because the original album, when it was released in '77, only had a few hundred copies.
Okay.
Which was kind of par for the course, really, with a lot of the old reggae, the Jamaican reggae releases. They didn't bother doing that many copies because most of them were just sold within Jamaica. A few would escape on import, and then you'd have kind of there were a few English labels that started licensing, and they'd print their own copies, and then you'd find you had some LPs would be released, and they give them totally different
titles.
Titles, and sometimes totally different artists as well. I was going to go into that. I can't be arsed now, but there's a story about a guy called there's an album called Ganja, and another album called Jargan, which is the kind of the dub version, and that was credited to Leslie Butler, who had very little to do with it. It was just released by Trojan Records, and they saw that name somewhere in the credits, released it as him, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? He didn't do it. That was me." I can't remember who it was who made that one now. Anyway, I digress, as usual. In England, it was released, I didn't know this, reissued by The Beat, the band, on Go Feet Records, interestingly. Then there was a Blood and Fire one. I've got, I think, Greensleeves have released it. There's a really nice 3 LP edition with the original LP with Fisherman on it. All the dub versions. I think there's a different mix that Lee Perry did a couple of different mixes of it. Right. Fabulous record, and Fisherman is just such an awesome song. It's about roll, fisherman, roll, dum roll, fisherman. And the Congos were fantastic. They were a vocal band. So they would have been backed by the house band, by Lee Perry's house band at the time, which was probably, I can't remember, the Revolutionaries, the Aggravators, someone like that. It was, it would have been one of the house bands. There's also a version released on Cornfed. So Cornfed records or CDs, they're a unofficial. I think they were based in the Netherlands, and they were getting all these really obscure Jamaican albums from the time which were impossible to get hold of. Getting them from collectors, getting 12-inch versions, 7-inch versions, getting the dub versions, and then recording them using relatively high-end recording equipment, and then putting them out on these brilliant bootleg CDs. So you'd have the album, like lots and lots of single versions, lots of dub versions and everything. They did a version of Heart of the Congos as well. But Fisherman, he was kind of the lead track, really. I think it's track 1 on the album. And like I say, just such a fantastic song. And I'm pretty sure some of them, the Congos, are still around in one iteration or another. In fact, I'm just trying to see if I can. No, I don't. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So the Congos were basically Cedric Myton and Roy Ashanti Johnson. They were the singers. And then on that particular album, I was just looking through the personnel. Boris Gardner was on there. Boris Gardner he had a really famous single, didn't he?
I don't know.
That was very poppy. Yeah, he did a very poppy single. I think he did I Want to Wake Up With You or something like that.
Okay.
But he's actually, there's a couple of really good dub albums by Boris Gardner as well. That's very well worth getting hold of. And then you had Sly Dunbar played some bass on it. Ernest Ranglin played some guitar on it. You've got all these famous, every single bloody Jamaican reggae LP has one of the famous, guitarists or bassists or drummers, or, you've got Jackie Me Too on the bloody keyboards or whatever, Yeah, so that's number 4.
4, yes.
Yes,
yeah.
Fisherman.
I don't know that. I don't know. Yeah.
Fisherman. It's well worth having listened to. I think you'd really like it. Okay. I love it. I think it's a fantastic album. And if you can get the one of the versions with the 3, I think it's like I say 3 vinyl. There's a couple of there's a 40th anniversary CD, lots and lots of dubs and various mixes. Well worth getting hold of.
Okay. Over 100,000 new songs get put out every day.
Indeed.
And that's just mind blowing, really. Okay. Right, my final entry for this podcast is a track called Occult Banker by a band called Endless Boogie, which is a bit of a naff name, but it says
yes.
It is what it says on the tin, really. It's named after...
Endless Bogey would have been funnier.
I can remember...
Because that would, you'd just be pulling it like Fungus the Bogeyman or something. Are you all right? I've got a fucking endless bogey. Oh no, not another one.
I can remember being at primary school and a friend of mine whose name I won't mention just in case it gets back to him, but he was doing a presentation in front of the class and he did a snort as a laugh, and he had a bogey and it hit the floor and it was still attached to his nose. Talk about stupid things that stay in your mind, eh? Fucking hell. Anyway, yes.
You know, I've done a couple when I'm doing the Instagram reels, the videos and that. I've had a couple of times where I've said something and I've dislodged a bit of food from somewhere in my teeth and it's landed on my lip, and I've looked at the videos and gone, oh, for fuck's sake, and I had to go back and record the whole fucking thing.
At least you redone them and didn't just put them out like that.
Oh man,
this is the Les Patterson version of.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely Endless Boogie, and he said Endless Bogey. This is definitely Endless Boogie. They were a band formed in 1997 in New York, and the song that they take the name from is a John Lee Hooker song. So that gives you some indication as to where some of their sensibilities lie, because it is very bluesy, but it's blues washed through with really grimy rock sensibilities. And they do have an affinity with the Endless bit, because they do quite a lot of long songs. long songs. So it is Endless.
No way.
Yes, indeed. Who'd have thought?
Who knew?
But it's growling, riffing, dirty, grunged up blues. This track is just over 9 minutes long, and it's from their album.
Who knew?
It's certainly not the longest track on the album, so think yourself fortunate. But it's from their album Long Island. They started out really just as a bunch of guys jamming, and it sounds easy. It was quite easy to see how they progressed from jamming to the kind of music they're making. Because anybody that's been in a band,
that's how Bob Marley likes his donuts, isn't it? We're jamming.
Yeah, that's better than my joke. Yeah. But it does sound exactly like that.
More beer.
If only I had some. But it's lots of guitar soloing throughout it, but it's the same kind of churning piece of music that's rolling along under it. It's very hypnotic blues rock. I talked about band Earthless a little while ago, do very, very long instrumentals, and there are some similarities there, but where Earthless are really kind of like, I don't know, soaring like a missile, Endless Boogie are grinding along like a freight train. I think they do sound quite a bit like ZZ Top, if you strung out ZZ Top a bit, in fact. It's that kind of sound, but for the vocals. And the vocals are...
Well, like a kind of southern rock boogie.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and he just churns and churns along. Although the singer, he calls himself a reluctant singer because he doesn't like singing and he just growls a bit. It's a guy called...
I thought you meant that was his name.
No, reluctant singer.
And on vocals, reluctant singer.
No,
hello.
Paul Major, and he's as well known for being a record collector as he is being in Endless Boogie. I remember reading an interview with him, and I can't remember where I read it. I tried to find it before I kind of did this podcast, because I read an interview with him many years ago, and it was all about his devotion to and his complete immersion in record collecting, and I think even to the point that he got a little shop going as well, so that he was selling them properly through a little shop. So he's very, very much into his music, but he's also a former guitarist in the Sorcerers, who were a New York punk band. But again, you wouldn't necessarily get that from listening to Endless Boogie, who, as I say, it could easily be Gibbons and Beard and Hill, and their twirly guitars and their big beards. I'm sure there's a distinct possibility.
She got legs. Yeah. She knows how to lose them. Oh, and they said lose them.
Lose them. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Douglas Bader song. probably be people out there who are purist ZZ Top fans and purist Endless Boogie fans who are both jumping up and down saying absolute shit.
Yeah, yes,
but
absolutely.
To my ears,
yeah.
that there is certainly a bit of a crossover. So it's a good song, well worth hearing. I think you can rev up the pickup truck, get yourself some chewing tobacco and a big hat, and slam Endless Boogie on, and you can chug away down the highway through the dust for hours and hours listening to that. I like it.
I can picture it in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. Oh, bloody dust. Gets everywhere.
Yes. So there you go.
Yes.
That's my final one.
Awesome. Okay, well, my final one, we are going back to one of my favourite bands of all time.
There's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from, but these ones I was particularly obsessed with, and it's REM. And their song is Driver 8.
Okay.
Which was released back in 1985. Released as a single from their third album, Fables of the Reconstruction. And I was just reminded of. I know we've spoken about them before, but I think it's a bit like Big Black. You know, you can pick a band. You don't necessarily have to repeat yourself. And with REM, I think. I mean, I personally could talk about REM. I could do a whole fucking 90 minutes on REM.
I think if we stitched
easily.
all the bits from different episodes together, we would have a whole episode on REM.
I think so, yeah. And someone was talking about them again the other day, and saying, you know, you kind of forget how in the late 80s especially, REM were just the biggest band in the world that no one had ever heard of. You know, they were the biggest cult band in the world. And, you know, and they were peers of, bands as diverse as Black Flag and Husker Du, the Replacements, and all the other bands from the Athens scene, you know, the B-52s and Pylon. And they were just so influential at that time.
Bizarrely, they did a cover of Where's Captain Kirk?
They did, yes, on one of their Christmas singles.
Yeah.
I had loads of them, and then they were just sitting there gathering dust, and then I sold them to another REM collector.
Okay.
Because you paid $10 a year to be in the REM fan club,
right?
And for that you got kind of a monthly, bi-monthly newsletter. You got offers for T-shirts and posters, and every Christmas you get a Christmas pack. And the original ones had 7-inch single with a cover version and a cover of a Christmas song, or a Christmas song they'd written, and lots of other stuff, posters and a Christmas card and all that bunged in, sent to you from Athens, Georgia. And that alone, the postage cost more than the actual $10.
Yeah.
You know, they subsidised it, and it was one of the greatest fan clubs ever. But Driver 8 was, as I said, was from Fables of the Reconstruction. Famously, when they sound kind of turned slightly darker from the original jangly pop of Murmur and Reckoning. They had a list of producers they wanted to work with. And for this third album, they chose a producer called Joe Boyd, who was well known for producing folk rock. And I think Peter Buck wanted to work with him because he'd recorded Richard and Linda Thompson.
Okay, yeah.
So they came over to Britain, stayed in central London, and had to make their way out to Wood Green every day to the studio. And apparently, as they said, if it wasn't snowing, it was raining, and it was pretty fucking miserable. And I think, so it was a dark time, and the stories about the recording the album, it was always like this was their dark album because they were so fucked off. They had a really bad time doing it, and subsequently, subsequent interviews, Peter Buck's always said, well, yeah, it wasn't that bad. We actually had a really good time. It was miserable, but we were all mates. We were having a wonderful time. We were recording with a producer, as difficult to work with as he could be because he was so particular. And Fables: The Reconstruction is a fantastic LP, and Driver 8 in particular is one of my favourite songs from that particular LP. And it's about, obviously it's about railways. Driver 8 is I could sing it, but then I have to do my Michael Stipe voice, like take a break, driver 8, take a break. It's a bit like the Ramones when we talked about singing Ramones songs, and you have to get the Joe Ramone voice. And if you sing REM songs in any other voice than Michael Stipe's, take a break, driver 8, take a shut up, take a break, driver 8. Oh, that's better. It's very much, along those lines. Right. Yeah, and the song itself is about a railroad track called the Southern Crescent, which was a passenger train that operated in the 70s and I think still does to a degree, run by Amtrak. And it's all around the southern states, I think, and it forms a crescent, actually, right. Hence the Southern Crescent. And it's just a brilliant song, and it just, the whole thing. It helps when you if you watch the video for it. It's all old American trains and intercut with footage of REM. But it is such a. It's a railway song. It's a train song. The train conductor says, "Take a break, driver 8." Driver 8, take a break. We can reach our destination, but it's still a ways away. And it's like I say, it's just the lyrics. I'm just reading the lyrics here. I saw a treehouse on the outskirts of the farm. The power lines have floaters so the airplanes won't get snagged. The bells are ringing through the town again. The children look up. All they hear is sky blue bells ringing. It's like, oh.
We could do a whole episode on train songs quite easily.
We could, yeah. I'll jot it down, shall I?
We can put it down, yeah.
How would you define a train song?
Well, there's songs like that, or Johnny Cash's Orange Blossom Special, or something like that. There were songs about trains, or there were songs with train in the title, or railway, or something like that. You could carve it however you wanted. But
on one condition, you're not having The Locomotion by Kylie.
Oh, damn it!
You can fuck right off with that. Not going to happen. Yes. So anyway, that's my final song, Driver 8 by one of the greatest bands ever, REM.
I should jolly well think so. The number of times you mention them, which is
I do love my REM. Yeah. I really do love my REM.
I love my MTV.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love my REM. God, that sounded like fucking
Sarah Brightman.
Orville. No, that was like, oh my God, I can't get into Orville because people from the UK would go, oh, yeah, and anyone else from anywhere in the world would go, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would take some explaining, wouldn't it?
Yes, ventriloquist dummies that look like ducks.
Yeah.
And go, I want to fly high in the sky.
No.
Oh, I had to go there.
Yeah, you had to.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's us done.
That's it.
I believe.
Yep.
And I have to ask, Jake, what have you been listening to this week?
What I've been listening to, amongst other things, this week. Land Work number 3 by Nathan Salzberg, which is 2022 repetitive ambient record. Very, very nice.
Excellent.
Highly Deadly Black Tarantula by Teeth of the Sea, which is a marvellous album.
Okay.
Nimrod is Lost in Orion and Osiris in the Dogstar.
Oh, fucking hell, here we go.
By the Inward Circles, which is 2014. Huge.
Is that reference to their belly buttons? Or?
No, it's reference to some kind of mystical star-like type thing.
Belly buttons would have been better. Take note, Inward Circles.
Hubris by Oran Ambachi, who I like a great deal. And The Undreamt of Centre live at Phoenix Central Park by Lawrence Pike from last year.
Okay, sounds a bit fishy, but there you go. Boom, boom. Thank you. I'll be here a week. Okay, so I've been listening to Come Closer by Tamora, which is Tom Simons from Chemical Brothers, Tom
Oh,
Rowlands,
yes, and that's
and Aurora.
there's two girls, aren't there? One of them sings, and the other one.
Yeah. Well, Aurora is the main one. She's like a solo artist. I'm not sure
from
who the other.
Scandinavia somewhere.
Yeah. And then I listened to Wisteria by She's Green, who are a shoegaze band. I discovered, I can't remember where I saw them, messing around on Bandcamp, I think. Then that's relatively new. Another new one was Give You Space by Kay Watter, which is very, very bassy. Then I got into a bit of a Chemical Brothers thing, and I was listening to No Geography, which is one of my favourite Chemical Brothers LP. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And then yesterday I spent a lot of the time listening to Romance by Fontaines DC.
Oh, right.
Because I realised I hadn't listened to it for bloody ages. So I got to listen and just reminded myself how absolutely brilliant that album is. Very, very good.
Good.
And I was talking, and weirdly, I picked up my youngest, Annie, yesterday, and I had it on, and she's like, "What are you doing listening to Fontaines?" And I'm like, "I really like Fontaines." Why? She goes, "I'm going to see them at Reading."
Really?
They're on the Reading Festival. And I said, "Well, I saw them a few years ago at Cambridge. They're a great band." So we had a little crossover, which was really cool.
Oh, so she was very protective over her generation having rights to that music.
Yes.
Not
Yes,
you old
was.
fart.
Yeah. I'm fucking wanker. Weirdly, I'm pretty sure this week I was listening to Greatest Playlist Ever. Our friends across the pond, DJ Substance, Brooklyn Pete, and Robin. I'm not going to say Girl Wonder because they're fucking bothered. So it's just like, well, I feel spurned, And I did my pick from 6, and they played Fontaines DC,
right.
so I did pick Fontaines this week. But they're well worth a listen. They're very funny. And weirdly,
talking
they
about
did
Fontaines DC. Then I thought I don't remember any humour much in their music, but clearly you were not talking about Fontaines DC.
Dear,
You're skipping around.
there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. Weirdly, they would talk. I listened to the episode just after that they released, just after we recorded the last one, and it was really interesting. And they were talking about a lot of the English bands that they'd discovered and how they discovered them. And it was really, because they really, they know their stuff. They really do. And I'd written a shed load of notes to talk about, and I fucking couldn't find when I went to do it, and I didn't have time to re-listen to the episode. Yeah. But if you get a chance, if no one's listened to the Greatest Playlist Ever, listen to it, because they're really, really good, and they're really funny. And the episode before last, they did talk about their love of English music. That's right. They were talking about how we've been talking about Echo and the Bunnymen and Simple Minds and that, and they were saying how some of the bands were bigger over in America than we thought, and some of them weren't so big. Like Simple Minds, they were kind of saying, well, they only had 2 real big songs in America,
right.
And I kind of saw Simple Minds as some kind of behemoth over in. I've used behemoth twice in one episode now. Whatever. Over in, I just thought they were like all conquering, but apparently that wasn't quite the case at that time. But I think they said that Echo and the Bunnymen were bigger. They knew of Echo and the Bunnymen, which was great. And I think that was more kind of, it was a bit later, although they did talk about crocodiles. But they should, obviously, everyone should listen to Heaven Up Here, because that is, as we all know, the greatest Echo and the Bunnymen LP of all time. So everyone listen to Greatest Playlist Ever, because they're really nice and they're really funny as well. In an American way, they're not quite as fucking juvenile as we are. They don't swear. They don't swear anywhere near us, and they don't get pissed on non-alcoholic beer. I don't know how I managed that.
It's the heat. It's gone to your head.
It must be. Yeah, I think it is. It is stifling here at the moment. It really is. So that's
okay.
So that's episode 35 done and dusted.
So goodbye to all until next time.
Yes, and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye.